Hello lovely and welcome. Thank you for dropping into my YouTube channel. If this is your first time here, my name's Charlotte from charlottebesic.com and I'm going to be sharing with you today a really raw and real story about my personal struggle with anxiety. So if this is the first time you've ever heard me speak and don't know anything about my story, then you're going to get to know me pretty well. And I share this because it's so important for me for people to understand that I'm not here today as a coach and to really change women's lives because I've got a qualification. I'm here because I have gone through a journey of my own, a journey of self-discovery, of challenges, of triggers, of healing in order to be able to get to this place now. I left home when I was 16 and I lived in a trailer for 2 years, okay? And during that time, I actually suffered with depression. And I didn't really know much about depression. There wasn't really any tools, spiritual tools for me to put in place to understand anything about it. All that I knew is that the doctor told me to take a medication, and I did. And this went on for about 2 years. And when I came out of this, I ended up going and travelling the world, and I went on my own. And I was so afraid and fearful of doing that. I was like, I don't know if I can. And anxiety started to build at that point, but I didn't really understand that I'd actually had it for years. Now I ended up moving to Sydney and I lived there, and my life from the outside looking in was great. I had an amazing job, I was living on Bondi Beach, I had great friends, I used to travel all the time, but inside something was missing. And I had this voice just playing over and over and over in my head. So many thoughts, I was so stressed and anxious, and I didn't really understand that that was what it was I was suffering from. And I remember the day I hit rock bottom, and I was curled up on the bedroom floor. My hands were red raw from my last purge, and I had ulcers in my mouth. And I'd been struggling alone and for 12 years with bulimia, and I never told anybody. And I remember asking a friend, a really powerful moment in my life was when I actually said, I need help. 3 of the most powerful words to ever come out of my mouth, because I never asked for help. I didn't even know how to. And I asked her for help, and I went into therapy and I worked on healing. And about 8 months into my recovery, I had a relapse. And in that relapse, I was back in the bathroom, over the toilet, vomiting again. And I remember this voice inside my head was really loud. And the voice was like, you'll never be able to do it, just give up now, you're never going to heal from this, just quit. And I had this like light bulb moment, and I was like, that's not me. Those thoughts, that voice, that message, that's not me. But that was the voice that told me all my life to keep going. You've got to do this, you've got to be there. And that led to a build-up of anxiety. And throughout this time in Sydney, I remember my anxiety got so bad that I couldn't get on public transport. I was having panic attacks. I used to run the 3 kilometres to work every day and back because I couldn't face public transport, and I hated being around large groups of people. It just made my anxiety build. But I didn't have any tools in order to be able to help me, and the only thing the doctor seemed to recommend was going on medication. And although always 100% follow your doctor's advice, but I wanted something else. I was looking for something else, and I'm not a medical practitioner, so I just want to get that really clear here. So I'm going to teach you the spiritual steps on how I overcame my anxiety. And there was a moment I remember when I was thinking all these thoughts and I was running away with myself, I was breathing from here, and I was like, and I realised that, oh my gosh, I'm not even properly breathing, I'm just breathing from here. And the shortness of breath led me to feel more anxious. So the first step in supporting you in overcoming anxiety is to breathe. Like, breathe properly. Breathe from your belly. Take some really big inhales, really big exhales. Now, another amazing step, which I wish I had access to, was nature. I had spent so long living in the city, being around concrete buildings, that I never took myself out into nature. I never really understood that if I did, it could make me feel better, because nature's got this calming effect. Whether it's the mountains or some green grass or the beach, whatever is close to you, get yourself outside. Be with yourself for 20 minutes, 30 minutes. The third thing is just to press pause. Now, I talk about this a lot, but so often we are go, 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 got to be there, got to do this, And it leads to more anxiety. The to-do lists grow, you stress, the external pressures mount. Just press pause. Just pause your life for a moment and just take a step back and just be like, oh, okay, I'm getting anxious because of all these things, all these thoughts and external events are making me stressed. And maybe you can't change the external, but there is one thing that you can change, and that's your thoughts. So if you can bring awareness to that, to recognize that your thoughts alone are creating your anxiety. The situation might never change outside of you, but you can change how you show up for it. And that was a really powerful lesson for me. I didn't leave my job for a number of years that I was working in. It was a highly stressful job, working in corporate. I used to get shouted at all day, every day. And I was very good at what I did, but I was just so unhappy because it made me anxious. I couldn't change the job, but I could change me. I could change how I showed up for it. And as a result, it changed my life forever. So there are your 3 tips today on how you can be supported on overcoming anxiety the spiritual way. Now, as I said, seek doctor's advice, seek their recommendation, but if you want an alternative and you're looking for a different way, then practice those 3 steps. Send me a message, like this video, hit subscribe, let me know how you go with it. Let me know how this has supported you in breaking through anxiety. Now, if you would like to know more, you can catch me over on Facebook, Charlotte Beswick Mindset. I'm also on Instagram, Charlotte_Beswick, and there are lots of freebies over on my website, charlottebeswick.com. So head on over there. I want you to be fully supported to breaking through anxiety and overcoming it the spiritual way. Have an awesome day, and I'll be back again, so don't forget to hit subscribe. Bye for now.